Welcome back. You're still tuned into Power Breakfast. When the big cue that we got overnight was GDP growth in India, it accelerated 8.4% in the third quarter, shattering estimates. For context, CNBC-TV18 poll was expecting Q3 growth rate at 6.7%. In fact, the government has also hiked the FY24 growth estimates to 7.6% compared to 7.3% earlier. Latha Venkatesh is joining in with her analysis of the GDP data. Latha, it was a surprise.
Oh yes, it's a spectacular number, no taking away. The Q3 GDP coming in at 8.4 versus our poll of 6.7%. The but comes in because the GVA, the gross value added, which is really the actual measure of the extent to which the economy grew, that came in line at 6.5%. I mean, the divergence between the GVA and the GDP is almost eye-popping. Now, what is the relation? GDP equals GVA plus taxes minus subsidies. So looks like taxes did very well and subsidies were very low. That's why the divergence. So the higher than expected GDP growth is largely accounted for by a 32% rise year on year in taxes minus subsidies, or what you call net indirect taxes. So net the Q3 growth itself is not mind-blowing, but the overall number is. However, there are other positives which are definitely mind-blowing. In Q3, for instance, manufacture is 11.6% growth. Power, gas, water and other utilities is 9%. Construction, 9.5%. All excellent numbers. The worry in Q3 is only that personal final consumption grew by just 3% and government consumption actually dipped by 3%. The heavy lifting is being done only by capital formation, which is up 10.6%. So basically, the economy ran on investment, not on consumption. I must mention the other positives that came along. The big upside revision to Q1 of the current year, that has gone up from 7.8 to 8.2. And Q2 has been upped from 7.6 to 8.1, which is why the full year GDP number has also been upped to 7.6. from the earlier estimate of 7.6. 7.6 is a damn good number. The nominal GDP, that is GDP in current price terms, has not been upped. It has been lowered. So what the fiscal deficit is counted as a percentage of nominal GDP, the government actually gets to spend a little less because the fiscal deficit is now has to be 5.9% of 293 lakh crore, not 300 lakh crore as the budget had originally estimated. Just a word, core sector numbers for January have come in very weak at 3.6. But again, taxes have come in very high, 16.5% growth in gross tax revenue. So it looks like the divergence between GDP and GVA will continue.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Latha, for explaining that to us. So that is what explains that big surge that we've seen in the GDP growth this time.